I think that's inherent
Yeah.
in the whole thing. It wants you to be free, and it's always looking for that opening, that possibility. You know.
So where are you with things these days in terms of meditation and who you feel you are? And
Yeah. Well, you know, as I was saying earlier, you know, recently I think it's only been about a month. I came across Adyashanti,
yes,
and I started to. I mean, he has a book out called True Meditation, and in that book there's a CD that has a guided meditation, which is, to my mind, it just fits everything I've sort of been, you know, moving towards, I guess, you know, over the years. And it's two particular types of meditation that he sort of leads you through. One is you know, allowing everything to be as it is, just running you through that, you know, and the truth of that, it is as it is, you know, and sort of beginning to realise and allow everything to be as it is, you know. And the other one is, I think he calls it spiritual inquiry, which is looking at, you know, who is it that's saying this, for instance, you know, who is it that's thinking this or doing this, and, you know, really holding that question and looking at that deeply, you know. And there's no answer, of course, you know, you can't find an answer here. But my understanding is that the process of doing that is the most powerful of all meditations. I think, you know, it really, you know, pulls you into that intelligence I'm talking about. It's, you know. So I was listening to something Adyashanti said last Saturday, and he said something about, he was talking about awareness and meditation, and he was saying, you know, that all of this, you know, a lot of, you know, what you hear in spirituality these days is about, you know, developing your awareness, being more present, being here now, and all of that stuff, and all of this meditation, all of it is really the opposite of what you're trying to do, actually, because awareness is already here. It's just here. It's, you know, you can't try to be aware. You can't increase that. You can't decrease that. It's always the same.
yeah,
awareness.
but you can be aware of your own awareness.
The awareness itself is absolutely unchanging. The one who's trying to be aware or unaware, you know, or you know, that's blood washing blood again. You know, it's not really going anywhere. So, you know, the more we try to do that, you know, I've tried most of my life to do that. So, you know, I do understand that principle, and I'm not saying you shouldn't try to do that if that's what you feel like, you know. But this is different to my mind, you know. Suddenly, I don't know, it hit me really quite dramatically in a way. You know, of course, there's just awareness. It's right here, right now. It's always been like this. There is awareness, and it's like suddenly there was access to that. It was like there wasn't something getting in the way of that, you know. I mean, it wasn't until 3 days ago, and then I don't know what happened. I woke up in the morning and suddenly that awareness is like as I was saying earlier, you know, there's the old me identity, you know, Ray Menezes and all the history, the drowning, all of that is here, you know, and then there's the awareness, the sort of true me in a sense is here, and it's like suddenly there's a shift from that. That's still there, that's fine, you know, but there's a shift. I'm not identifying with that anymore. Now
Right.
I'm this. It's
Right,
like
yeah.
it just is there. It's constant. It's not. You know, it's not. I'm not trying to be that. I am that. It is. You are that. I think. You know, we all are that. You know, it's just. So there's just a shift. It's a very, very subtle shift.
Talk more about how this feels. How does it feel, Ray?
The first thing I noticed was an incredible feeling of life, of just being alive. Like my body was tingling, and you know, the world is suddenly I mean, I've read about this stuff for years, and it sounds sort of cliched, but and I'm a little bit averse to talking in those cliches, and but it's a sort of there is a freshness. It's like everything's new. It's like you just seeing it for the first time. It's interesting. I guess it's just interesting, and it's like there's a natural sort of curiosity of just observing and feeling, but more than anything, I think that feeling of aliveness, just being absolutely alive, and no. I know Adi Shanti calls it division. No division. No division between mind and body. They're both working in harmony.
Yeah, I know people talk about the background becoming the foreground and
Yes.
the foreground becoming the background.
Yes. It's like they're both there. They're not. There's the stillness. There's the identity. It's like that's still there. All the memories. I'm talking now. It's like that's. But it's not. That bit's not important anymore. It's not. It doesn't have any great meaning or to me. It's just no. It's like okay. It's like it's something. There is that. I can't deny. That's there. Why would I? I mean that's. There's that memory and all of that, history. But that I'm not identifying with that anymore.
Yeah, so, stillness.
Yes, the stillness is constant. Yeah. It's no matter what's going on in the world, that's there.
Yeah. You were saying before we started the interview, and you mentioned at the beginning, you had cancer for 3 years, which was the stillness with you then? Was the connection with the source with you then?
Not immediately. It was, but it did. It turned out that I heard I had cancer. I think it was about 3 days before I was due to go on a retreat, to run a retreat.
Right, wow.
And my initial response to hearing that I had cancer and not really knowing where it was going to go but was a quite intense sadness actually. I'm not sure of what. I didn't, I can't say I was that afraid of dying. Since the drowning, I don't think that was a problem anymore. But there was a sort of sadness. Maybe it was for my children. I don't know. But there was quite a deep sadness for a couple of days. And anyway, I ran the retreat, and it was very interesting because on the first day in the retreat, I sat. I mean, for years I've been doing retreats, and when I sit, usually my experience is that I ring the bell for the first meditation, and my experience is that the time just, it's the end of the retreat. It's like all of a sudden I'm ringing the last bell, and it's a very, very easy, And this time it wasn't. It was like, my mind was just buzzing. It was all over the place, And I sat with that, allowed that, didn't resist it, and within, like somewhere in that first day, it just suddenly became really obvious. Of course, it's the cancer, and it's there's this stuff churning around in my mind, and but by working with it in that way that I was, of allowing it, just be with it. Okay, my mind's racing. That's okay. It stopped. And it sort of went deeper then, and from that point on, so for the rest of the time that I had cancer, there was no problem. There was no again, no fear. There was no anxiety. I mean, I tried to heal myself, but it wasn't a huge. It wasn't based on anxiety or fear,
Yeah. And you're okay now.
Yes, it's clear. Yeah.
And the process is moving on, and
yes.
Okay, we need to finish now.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Thank you for coming in to chat with us, Ray. And just to remind people that Ray's book, Blood Washing Blood, is available. And thank you for watching Conscious TV. Goodbye.